Elishibah Msengeti, you are not enough. You are not enough. Elishibah Msengeti.
All of us have, at one point or another, been told you're not good enough, you're not serious enough, you're not tall enough, you're not adequately qualified, and even, and this is a funny one, you're not cool enough. As if there's a coolometer somewhere out there that measures one's level of coolness. And often we're left wondering, asking ourselves, is it my aura? Was it my face that showed my inadequacy? Or am I in fact incapable, inept, insufficient, inferior, inadequate? Today we're going to talk about inadequacy. The Oxford Dictionary defines inadequacy as the lack of quality or quantity that is enough to serve a particular purpose or situation. What are the roots of this feeling of inadequacy? Some of these feelings stem from childhood neglect, parenting, especially in cases where parents compare siblings or compare children. Failure can also be a source of inadequacy. Many of us start to lose our confidence when we fail, and more so when we fail repeatedly. Rejection, either at work or in relationships, can also be a source of inadequacy. And lastly, and this is a very common one, prevailing culture. The way that the world defines success, beauty, health, happiness is sometimes incongruent with what we see in ourselves. A research study done by YouGov in the United Kingdom in February 2019, and that is last year, revealed that more than 25% of youth aged between the ages of 16 and 25 actually felt that their life has no sense of purpose. That is a quarter of the population. This is a manifestation of that feeling of inadequacy, a lack of purpose. And what are the signs of this inadequacy? One of them is shying away from social interactions. Another sign or manifestation is incessant comparison, where you constantly feel that you need to compare yourself with others. A third manifestation is self-criticism. In fact, global leadership expert Dr. Patricia Murugami defines this as false modesty, where you cannot even accept praise. It is a self-sabotaging mindset. And fifth, and this is very dangerous, is an inclination to succumb to peer pressure. And why is that? Because the feeling of inadequacy is pushing you to want to be pleasing of others. Now, what are the dangers and effects of inadequacy? I'll give you three. One is what we call the glitch graveyard. Malcolm Forbes once said that too many people overvalue what they are not and undervalue what they are. The result of this is that many people go to the grave with their gifts and talents, hence the title, A Rich Graveyard, because they were too afraid to try and driven by this feeling of inadequacy. And as you know, we miss all the shots that we don't take. Second one is the leaking bucket. Psychologist Dr. Carl Albrecht defines a psychological bucket of well-being that exists within us. It is this bucket that actually enables us to treat others with goodwill, kindness, and generosity. When this bucket starts to leak, our self-esteem starts to sag. And this is the situation that leads us to treat others unkindly. You're very likely to fly off the handle at the slightest provocation and kick any cat that you find along the way. Why? Because of that leaking bucket, which is driven by a feeling of inadequacy. A third danger of inadequacy is actually accepting abuse. And this is because you feel that you deserve no better. So how do we rise above inadequacy? How do we overcome inadequacy? First suggestion is to dig deep. Ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Is it rejection? Is it failure? Is it embarrassment? And then move from there. Nelson Mandela once said, our greatest fear is not that we are not able. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. The second thing is checking your circles. Actually changing your situation can be one way of rising above inadequacy. Therapist Jeremy Sherman suggests that when you realize that your relationships are actually destructive, it might be time to move on to healthier relationships. The third one is to read biographies and listen to other people's stories. All those people who are successful actually once or at one point of their life either felt inadequate or were deemed inadequate. What's the difference in how they succeeded? It's how they rose above that feeling. So today, take time to know your talents, gifts, and purpose, and let that knowledge drive you, because you are, in fact, enough. You are adequate enough. Madam Toastmaster.